Hey everyone, History Mystery Man here, coming to you today on a sweltering hot day in southern Indiana, which makes the opening shot in front of the fountain certainly appropriate and even quite soothing. Coming to you from the little town of Orleans, population about 2,000 in between Paoli and Mitchell, Indiana, and I have no idea how this town got by me. It's absolutely charming, adorable, storybook-like, clean, so nice. Really, really interesting place. I think you're really going to like this one. I'm in Congress Square right now. At one time, the Orleans Academy once stood here in the 1800s and was here on up through 1964 before it was razed, but a beautiful building once stood here. But they did the right thing. They turned this place into a gorgeous park, and it's really super nice. The heartbeat of Orleans is here. Orleans was platted on March 11th, 1815, which makes it the oldest town in Orange County, and named after the Battle of New Orleans, which happened 2 months prior in January of 1815. But there's lots of cool stuff here. There's history here and so many great small town stories. You're going to absolutely love it. Welcome to small town Orleans, Indiana, where the History Mystery Man is on duty and at your service. Let's go see what's inside. Excuse me, sir. Do you recognize this home, the Stetson home?
Uh-huh.
Do you know where it is?
Uh-huh. Right out this highway, right over here at the bank, at the stoplight.
Okay.
Go straight out that way. It's right across from grade school.
I got
Probably
you.
not even half a mile.
Okay, what's in it now?
It's for sale right now.
Oh, it's for sale. That's interesting.
How do you talk to Robert Henderson?
Robert Henderson.
He's our town mayor. He's not a mayor, but he's
the guy.
He's the guy.
I wonder how I'd get in touch with him. Is he around today, you think? Or
You know, I don't know. Sometimes he comes through the market on Saturdays.
okay. So, how long have you lived in Orleans?
I'm 61 years old, and I was born here, and I moved away for 19 years, and now I'm back.
Why'd you come back?
Because it's a good little town.
Yeah, I can see that, but there must be some magic here for you outside of its home.
Yeah, it's just a nice place to be.
Yeah, it is a pretty little town.
It is, and they do a lot of things, and it's just friendly.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for talking to a complete
Okay.
stranger from Toledo,
That's all
Ohio.
right. That's
I
all
appreciate.
right.
Thank you so much. You had a neighbor. Say that
I
again.
have a neighbor,
Yes.
and he said that if you have to conceal yourself, go incognito and not be known. Mitchell and Orleans is a place to go. Nobody would find you in such a small place. What he said.
Well, I'm moving in then. I like that. This is one I don't see a lot of. Goat milk. How did that come to be for you, goat milk business?
I worked in corporate America for 25 years. And
I can see where this is going.
restructuring took my job. So
I understand completely.
I started a small hobby farm, raised dairy goats. Dairy goats give a lot of milk. So needed something to do with the milk.
That's interesting. So corporate America set you aside and you said, I got to do something. And how on earth did you come up with this?
I've probably always been somewhat environmentally drawn, and I raise heritage breed dairy goats. They're British Guernseys. There aren't a whole lot of them in the world. So it's a conservation effort. And at 57, I really wasn't ready to hop right back into industry.
How's it going for you?
Slow,
Yeah.
especially with COVID hitting things.
Of course.
But it's nice, and it's a great place for my grandkids to visit and learn that Midwestern values are still the way to go.
Oh, I believe it 100%. So, hey, how do you guys like Orleans, Indiana? Any?
Love Orleans. It's our hometown.
Are you serious?
Yes, it
I've
is.
been
We were in South Carolina for about 10 years. I was a principal there.
You were a
Come back,
principal?
and I'm a pastor now, and just really like it.
It's not a bad place to live out your days, is
No,
it?
and especially in today's society,
Yeah.
you don't see a lot of stuff that's happening here in the little towns.
Yeah, you're kind of on your own little island here or
Yeah, kind
something.
of isolated.
We're very content here.
Are you? I believe that. Well, is it the small town friendly feel that you appreciate?
Yeah, because it's how we were raised.
Yeah.
My dad was the dentist on the other side of those buildings by the old drugstore, Dr. Kreidel. So He was a dentist from 55 to 82.
Ma'am, you're from Orleans?
Yes,
Born
I'm
and raised?
Born and raised, yes.
Has it been a good life?
Yes, it has.
Yeah?
Yes.
Would you trade it for anything else?
No.
Heck no. That's what I wanted to hear.
Yes.
And wouldn't trade it. It's a good place to raise a family.
It is.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, Mr. Mayor.
Apologize for my attire, and I've got a bum leg. I'm
Oh.
person, so I'm really sorry.
Don't be sorry. Never apologize. You look great. You look awesome. You're Robert Henderson,
I'm
yes?
Robert Henderson, yes.
And I think I've seen you on video before. I've watched some of the Orleans video,
Uh-huh.
and I could tell you like Orleans, Indiana.
I love Orleans, Indiana.
Why? What is it about this place that's got
Well,
all the magic?
Orleans is really, I always think it's a perfect small town, and it's got a lot of Mayberry type qualities. And really our greatest asset is our people. And I think it's the greatest place on earth to live. We enjoy our small town life, and it's just a great place to call home.
Would you trade it?
I wouldn't trade it, and I've been in lots of different other places, but this is home. And we love Orange County, we love our small town, we love the people and our stories and our history, and so I wouldn't trade it for anything, no.
And have you been a lifelong resident?
I've lived here, I grew up here. My family was in Orange County in 1815, so we've had some roots here for just a day or two. And but my father was born and raised here, and he loved Orleans, and so I love it as well.
It's funny, these small towns I visit in southern Indiana, I see the generations. You can go to the graveyard and see the names of the people whom generations later still live here. I mean, people come here, they stay, and they never leave.
Absolutely.
There
Yeah.
must be something to it.
There's something to it. And of course, Orleans is the oldest town in Orange County. It was founded in 1815 before Indiana even became a state. So as the oldest town, it has a lot of interesting history and stories attached to it. And so it's just a great place, really.
Well, of course, a lot of, parks around cities and towns are around the edge or out in the forest, but your park is the centerpiece of your town. I like it.
Yes, absolutely. And but Congress Square, it was the name that was given to it 200 years ago, and it was set aside and could be used for anything except for a burial ground. And over the years, it became the school. It became the kind of the center and the heart of the downtown.
Well, I won't be the guy in town digging up bones at Congress Park.
Don't do anything like that, no.
No. You know what, though? I would want to ask you, Robert. I haven't seen, the old academy. I've got to believe it was a beautiful building.
It was an
if
old
it was
Victorian building, yeah.
built in 1860,
1864, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I think it was raised 100 years later. If it was still there, do you think there'd be a push from the local residents to help preserve it?
Oh, I think so. And it was a beloved thing because it was a school, and there
Of
was so
course.
much sentimental value to it. But when we redid the park in 2001, the Millennium Project, we used a lot of red brick to kind of symbolize and memorialize the schoolhouse. The original bell tower is memorialized here. And around the fountain area, we have over 1,000 names of students and classes and teachers and families represented. So we wanted to remember the past. We wanted to honor the past while looking to the future. And so you'll see a lot of that even in the park as we honor our heritage.
Well, that's neat that you preserved what you could with what you had. But man, it would be neat to see that majestic building still standing in the
Yes.
square. And I bet if it was still standing today, we wouldn't be knocking it over.
No,
but it's
no,
just
we wouldn't. In fact, we would probably be doing everything to preserve it. The bandstand is an interesting structure. It was built in 1926 and was used for public community band concerts. And so it's kind of become the landmark. When you think of downtown Orleans, you think of the bandstand, which is just kind of reminiscent of days gone by.
Hey there. Hey, I came to buy some Etna gas.
Some what?
Well, this used to be the Etna gas station.
Oh, really?
Yeah, years ago I saw a picture,
Oh.
and it used to be a gas station, and there's a big sign out front that said Etna.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
so
interesting. I didn't know that.
see, The history mystery man taught you a lesson today. So, so I do small town video documentaries. I come with no agenda, just that I promote small town America, and I want to help keep the businesses alive.
Yeah, very cool.
So,
especially right now. That's
yeah, especially in the culture of Corona. So, what is your business here, by the way?
I am Rustic Graces. I do kids clothing and women's boutique.
And when you say you do them, you sell it, you make it.
I make all of the kids' items. So the
You
little
do?
bunny- I do. Yeah, I sell them right here.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
And
that's
then
fascinating.
I buy the women's boutique clothing from distributors, except for like the graphic tees and things. I make those myself.
How did you get involved, interested in this?
I had a little girl and realized the cost of prices when I wanted to shop for her, so I bought a sewing machine and figured it out myself. And
That's
then
fantastic.
the women's things, I want something that's going to make a mom or just a woman in general feel confident, even if it's just in a t-shirt. So it's kind of my mission. I just want to make them feel good about themselves.
I like it. And are you from Orleans?
I grew up in Mitchell, and then
Okay.
my husband's family is from Paoli, so that's what brought me to Orange.
Right in between.
Yep, right in between. And my kids go to Orleans schools.
Oh, how neat. I love this little town. Yeah. How do you like Orleans? I mean, it seems like a neat place to have a business.
It is very neat, and the support from the town is absolutely incredible. People that I don't even know were here on my opening day just to support me because I was a new business here, and that means more than anything I could ever ask for.
That's fantastic. So even in the culture of Corona, are you holding your own? I mean, it's got to be
For
difficult.
sure. I mean, it's difficult for sure. I started my lease on March 1st, right before all of Corona hit. So I was terrified. I was like, yep, here we go.
Oh my gosh.
This was terrible timing on my part. I took the leap and it was apparently at the wrong time. But I just kept pushing through and kept promoting my business, and thank God for social media. In a small town, everybody sees all of that, and they've been my cheerleaders from day one. And then I had my grand opening on July 4th, and they all came out. And
So you're brand new here.
I'm brand new.
Oh.
Brand new.
Well, you picked a fine time, didn't you?
I know.
Well, I am rooting for you.
Thank you very
I
much.
think your business is absolutely fascinating, wonderful.
Thank you.
It's so interesting.
Thank you.
And I'm wishing you all the best.
Thank you
I'm
very much.
going to be your biggest cheerleader today.
Thank you. Thank you. That's important.
I mean, to me, it's like you have a lost craft, kind of like tap dancing
Yeah, a
or
lot
something.
of people-
I mean, how did you teach yourself to? I mean, out of the love of wanting to buy things economically and create things for your children.
I mean,
Is there more to it? I mean, how do you know how to do this?
honestly, a lot of YouTube.
That's so funny.
I had never.
That's how I learn everything
Right,
now.
For real. I mean, that's the day and age that we live in. But I had never sewn in my entire life, and I told my husband, I was like, I'm gonna go buy a sewing machine today, and he was like, what are you gonna do with it? So like,
what
what
kind
do
of
you mean you're
question? I'm
buy
not
a
going
sewing
to.
machine?
You're not going to change the oil with it.
No.
Yeah.
So I went to Walmart, bought a sewing machine, went to Joann's, grabbed some fabric, and I was like, I can figure this out. I know that I can do this. And after a lot of hours of frustration and a lot of videos, here we are, making pants and shorts. And
I love it. I really admire your entrepreneurial
Thank you.
go-get-em spirit.
Thank you.
That's so cool. I
Thank
mean,
you
I
very
really
much.
admire. That's the American small town
It
story.
really is. It really is.
What was that slogan? Something like "Small Town America" is like a
They
front.
say Orleans is the front porch of America.
I'm buying that.
Yeah,
I am buying every bit of that. Thank you.
Thank you.
John B. Stetson was the Hat King.
I have a picture of his house.
Do you? Okay.
Oh, I was wondering. So, are you telling me the guy that the name Stetson hats came from is from here?
Well, he married an Orleans girl, and there was a girl named Elizabeth Schindler, and her family were farmers in the community, and she went to visit an uncle in Philadelphia, and he worked for the Stetson Hat Company. And while she was there, she attended a church service, and we think she may have sang or she played the organ or piano. She was musically talented. We're not quite sure on that part. But anyway, she caught the eye of John B. Stetson, who was in the congregation. And John B. took kind of a liking to her, and over time, friendship turned into a romance. And then he shows up in town on the train and takes a private rig out to the Schindler farmhouse and asks for her hand in marriage. And he was 54 and she was 24.
Whoa.
And, so you can imagine what a stir that would have caused in a small town for John B. Stetson, the wealthy hat king, to show up here and ask for a local girl's hand. But they were married, And they had 3 children, and they had beautiful homes in Philadelphia. They had a home in DeLand, Florida. And Elizabeth really was instrumental in encouraging him to found Stetson University, which is still in DeLand, Florida today. But while she was Mrs. Stetson, he gifted her a house. And he had it pre-cut, and he had an architect from Philadelphia that designed all the Stetson homes and buildings, and had it pre-cut and fabricated, and he had it shipped to Orleans by rail. And then he sent immigrant workers on board to put the house up on site. And it still stands, and it's a beautiful old-style home, and we call it the house that Hats built, or it's the storybook house.
I understand it's for sale.
It's for sale currently. The lady that was the caretaker, she was kind of the keeper of the story for about 60 years. She passed away recently. But it's probably one of the most famous stories linked to Orleans, and it revolves around the romance of a young girl named Elizabeth Schindler, who married her Prince Charming, John B. Stetson. 30
years her elder.
Yes. And but anyway, she lived an interesting life. After Stetson died in 1908, she married a prince from Portugal, and she took a title of Countess Santa Eulalia. And so from a little girl from Orleans, she lived a fascinating life. And she never forgot Orleans, and through her life she did several things of remembering her hometown and its people. And so that's one of our most famous, that's our love story.
I like it.
Yeah.
I didn't come here for a hate story.
No,
man.
absolutely.
Spread the love. Hey, big bull. You're not really a bully, are you? No. You're too purty to be a bully. Look at you. Come on over here and talk to me. Come on. I'll talk to you. Come here. Come on. We can talk. What's on your mind? Look, I get along good with cows and bulls. The Orleans Bulldogs. Now that's a bulldog. See you later. Was it something I said? Bet I don't smell any worse than you do.